With us. I appreciate you waiting out there.
Oh, no problem at all. I mean, it's fall camp. I'm here already all day, so I mean, it was, part of the process.
It's
I'm already at camp.
Not the worst spot to be hanging out either. Right? Pretty nice building.
Oh no, it's kind of nice in here, isn't it?
Well, AP, we're two practices in. What's the feel like with the guys?
New atmosphere. Guys playing with a whole lot more swagger out there, giving it all they got, and I'm just happy to see the smiles on everybody's faces, and I think this is gonna help take us to the next level.
Is it different from this time last year?
Last year things was a bit different, COVID, so everybody was pretty on edge about everything. So times was a lot different, but as far as facility wise, it's a lot different.
What are the biggest questions that you have to answer about your team, or things you kind of want to learn or prove before the opener gets here?
What questions do I have for the team?
Well, just like, are there certain areas where it's like you guys have to shore something up, or anything you need to get worked out to be ready for the start of the season as a group?
Really just keep continuing building that chemistry. I mean, we're bringing, the entire team back. Only thing we have to do going forward is just continue to build chemistry and learn how to play together. I think with the depth that we have now too, a lot of guys is gonna have to learn how to play together and see what that looks like. And I think that's probably the biggest question that everybody will have, because new guys coming in and old guys staying. So that'll be the biggest thing.
Yeah, Coach Shirley touched on that quite a bit, that you guys are kind of having a lot of people who aren't going to be as high up the depth chart as they might be just because it's so crowded.
Yeah.
How do you sort of manage, egos, for lack of a better term, or people who might not get the role that they want?
You have to really just believe in his culture. I mean, his culture speaks it. I mean, having integrity, having passion, mental and physical toughness, being selfless and giving perfect effort. I mean, if you do all of those things that his culture is, I mean, you'll be fine. And just trust that process. Just wad that up every day and just trust that process. And I think you'll be fine if you really believe in that culture.
Do you view yourself as one of the leaders on the team? Do you think that's a role you've carved out?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the style of play that I bring to this team, I think a lot of the guys in the locker room look up to me, and just how I go about everyday life. I think a lot of the guys look up to me and come to me for answers, come to me for plays, different things from a football aspect, life aspect. I feel like a lot of guys in the locker room have a lot of respect for me.
So then, as part of that job for you, kind of making sure people maybe farther down the pecking order are able to be patient or stick with it or bring the same effort every day, what is that kind of message like from you?
Absolutely. I mean, I came back and been a super senior for a reason. I mean, if I didn't help Coach Turler bring this program to the next level, then I shouldn't have returned. So that's definitely something I'll have to take on head on.
What does that mean? How does that translate on the field? Just the culture aspect of it.
Basically, what that means is just playing a play harder than your opponent. And I think when you do that, and I think when you playing hard and you making plays, I think the younger guys look at that and say they want to do the same thing. So as long as you keep on doing your job and doing what you're supposed to do, I feel like a lot of guys follow that same direction.
You think the defense is going to be any different this year compared to last year? What sort of changes should we expect?
Not many changes. We're going to add more because we're an experienced group and everybody pretty much are on the same page. So coaches is going to put a lot more on us, and that's expected. I mean, the culture is elevating, so we got to elevate as well. And I think we'll give guys trouble with different things that we do. And with the depth that we have, I think we'll be a whole lot better defense as well in case guys go down, whether you're tired, where you can play faster. And there'll be a lot more bodies out there. So I think the defense will be a lot better than it was last year.
It seems like there's a big focus on kind of disguising things defensively.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do that, or what goes into that?
Basically, just knowing your responsibility pre-snap communication, doing a whole lot of those things, a lot of film study, just knowing what your responsibility is. Yes, we might disguise something, we may show something that we're probably not going to be in to give quarterbacks trouble, but at the end of the day, for a defensive player like our defensive guys, just knowing where you got to be at the end of that play.
What do you want to accomplish individually this season? Do you have any goals in that sense?
I just want a lot of team success. I want a lot of team success, and I want the guys around me to be good football players and good men off the field. And for myself personally, I just want to elevate my game, really be the quarterback of our defense.
Where do you draw your motivation from? What pushes you day to day?
For me personally, just growing up, watching my mom, struggle, watching her take care of me and my brothers and my sister all alone, that just gave me a whole lot of motivation to always work hard, always have passion for whatever I'm doing, and always just go hard, because I seen a woman very young raise 5 kids, and that just always pushed me and drove me to want to do better in life, to give her a better life.
Were there a lot of tough times that came along with those circumstances growing up?
Absolutely. I mean, she actually was taken away from me when I was in the 4th grade all the way to the 6th grade. I bounced around a whole bunch of schools, got in a whole bunch of trouble, and that was just a learning curve for me. And I just always, I think since that moment, just wanted to be better for her. Once I got in middle school, picked up the football and just always ran with it, and I'm still going.
So where were you living during those stretches?
So I was in New Orleans, Louisiana before she was arrested, and then I went to my grandparents in Kenner, Louisiana, Susan Park area, and that's why I really hung around older guys, and all of those guys was into sports, and I just watched those guys just ball, and I just wanted to do the same. I just wanted to play ball, and I just continue on to do that after watching those guys.
So when your mom kind of came back into your life, I guess it was like middle school times?
It was probably right at middle school times. Probably right at middle school times.
Did you guys still have a really strong relationship? Or
Oh yeah.
that for you?
I mean, when she was away, we always communicated over the phone. We always sent letters back and forth. I mean, I pretty much had that experience already because my dad, he's incarcerated as well, and he's been incarcerated way longer than her. So I pretty much had the experience of what that process looked like when someone is incarcerated.
Do you feel like that hardened you from a very young age, or was there a point where you kind of felt like that set in and sort of changed your mentality and approach to things?
Absolutely, because I just seen the struggle. I really seen the struggle. I really seen what it was like to go without, and I think it just always just gave me motivation. I think that's what got me here to this point. Just not want to be in that struggle again, and just want to be better.
You seem very comfortable kind of talking about it and being open about that sort of thing. Has that always been the case for you, or?
Yeah, I've always been open and comfortable with talking about it. I mean, not everything is, perfect in life. People have struggles. People have things that they're dealing with every day. Some may speak about it, some may not. I think, but with me, I've been through a whole lot. So, I mean, this may could help someone. Who knows? So, I'm comfortable with talking about it, and that's just AP.
Are you hoping or planning on football kind of being your ticket to the next stage of your life, or to get into the place you want to get to?
Yeah, I mean, football, is a lot of different qualifications that I have to, be evaluated with when it comes to like NFL professional ball. And being an undersized guy, a lot of people they're gonna come down harsh on me, but I feel like if they measure the right things, I'll be fine. But if that don't work out, then I'll pass on my knowledge and my abilities to a younger generation, probably around football, probably into coaching, a different area of life.
Yeah, have you thought a lot about coaching or wanting to take on that kind of a responsibility someday?
Definitely. I have a lot of football knowledge, a lot of football experience. So if my playing days come to an end, I definitely will like to apply them and keep on going with teaching other guys the game.
I guess part of that probably comes into play now with sort of your leadership role.
Yeah.
Like you're doing some of that stuff. Do you ever talk to the coaches about how to be a leader, or like start taking those steps toward a coaching role, or does that just kind of pick up naturally?
Kind of pick up naturally. You kind of watch them. I watch great coaches every day. I mean, this coaching staff is one of the best that if not, the best coaching staff that I didn't had, in my football career. Group of guys coming together every day and just changing the culture, changing the atmosphere, and really getting to know their players. That's one thing I give a whole lot of credit to Coach Trell about. He actually knows every guy on the roster. And I've been on teams where a coach have to ask another coach or ask a player, who is that? So just seeing how much he care about these players and, the way he buy into his guys and the way he buy into the kids every day. So I'm watching a guy, kind of be a leader, and I'll take that from him, that leader aspect.
Antonio, you kind of touched on the fact, coming back for your super senior season and helping Coach Trailer kind of build up that culture. Was that the main factor when you decided to come back, or were there other major factors there that kind of told you, yeah, I want to come back and I want to go for a super senior?
Yeah. So yes, it was Coach Trailer, but then also it's a personal aspect, and then also is your role on the team. So personally, I didn't play a whole lot of football in my college career. I mean, last season was the most I played in my whole college career. So getting an opportunity to play another guaranteed 12 games and to get better was definitely something I took into consideration personally for me. And then also the defense. I have a great relationship with Coach Lepp, and I'm with him every day, and he has a great mind and a great feel for the game. So playing for Coach Lepp again was just something that I just was like, I'm all in, and I definitely want to do that again and have some fun with that.
And of course, you are one of many actually defensive starters that came back for a super senior season. So how much of an advantage is that for you guys that you have a year more than normal to play together and build that chemistry, where it felt like, you started slow last season as a team on defense, but by the end that was really a strength for you guys out there, is that you were shutting people down and keeping games close. So, what does that mean for this season?
I mean, it gives us an advantage, but at the end of the day, we still have to put that work in, and we still have to come to work every day, just like, every other team out there. But it definitely gives us an advantage because guys are older, guys know where to go, guys know where to be at in the defense, and also what to expect. And we also know how to deal with adversity. Some of those games we was down in those ball games, and we fought back and shut guys out, like you said. So it definitely gives us an advantage with some of those starters coming back that are older guys.
Thanks, Antonio.